Okay, okay. No issue.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, where's the time, by the way? Okay, I have set the 15-minute timer. Also, let me tell you how many questions are there so that you guys get the idea okay, how much time you guys are having and how many questions are there. Okay, now? So see, these 8 questions are there, and then few more questions are, and this last question. So in total, there are 14 questions. Okay, 14 questions are there, and 10 questions are objective, MCQ, and 4 questions are subjective. So try to solve the MCQ questions very quickly.
Sir, the fourth question, it's like true or false.
It's like true or false. Fifth one is
So
the same.
it's true and false.
Basically, fourth and fifth are true or false. Also, since it's a test, you guys are required to keep your cameras on. Okay, now everyone, turn your camera on. Whenever you will be having a test, make sure you turn your cameras on in the class.
The fifth one is a true or false, right?
Yeah, fourth and fifth, you have to answer with a true or false.
Okay, sir.
So I'm done.
Done? Okay. I'm
I'm
moving to the
done.
next slide. Okay, now. Also, make sure कि you guys now take the screenshot. That will be convenient. Okay, na? I'm moving to the next one. Okay. I can switch back to the previous slide
I
also.
did not take screenshot. I did not take
Okay,
screenshot.
okay. Okay, I will be switching the slides. No issue in that. Just tell me. Okay, na?
So you can.
Hmm. Okay. I'm not sending the pictures of it in the group. No, that will be convenient for you guys. So let me just take the screenshot of this one first.
So like in the eighth question, we have to draw.
Question number 8.
8.
Observe the given figure and label the following terms given in the box: stomatal opening and guard cell. You have to label these two terms in this one. You can draw, but don't uh, make it too complicated. Just keep it simple. Just make a rough diagram of it. Okay, no? By the way, I have sent the picture in the group. Let me send the picture of this one as well.
Sir, can I
Mhm.
bring my pencil?
No issue. Okay, 7.5 minutes are remaining. By the way, the subjective questions are no, don't keep them very long. Okay, they are of short. They are of short nature. Okay, just write, explain them in 2 or 3 lines. Okay, just wait for a minute. I'm having a call. Okay, now.
Sir, in the 11th one, do we need to like a quote an example?
You can quote an example.
Sir, actually for 8th one, what should we do?
For eighth one, no, you have to label the name of label. Yeah, you have to label where is stomatal opening and where is guard cells. You have to
Okay, so we
mark
have to draw the
mark them.
diagram.
You can just draw a simple diagram. Okay, now keep it
Okay,
simple.
sir.
Hmm.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
can I go get my black pen?
Okay, no sure. So you can just simple draw a diagram like this.
Back.
Yeah. Okay, guys. It's 13 minutes. Okay, now. So be quick. Look, you can just answer what is A and B in the question number 8. I have already mentioned
Okay,
them.
sir.
Okay, na? Don't do the labor. हाँ. Guys, it's already 15 minutes. Sindhu, which question you're solving?
The last one.
The last one. The last one is question number 14 now. This
Yeah.
one. Okay. Chakrika, you?
I'm solving the 12th question.
Okay, okay. Just write the name. No need to write the whole sentence. Just write the name of that association. Okay, now.
In
I'm
the 12th.
in the 12th question. I'm providing 2 extra minutes to you guys. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Be quick. Vaika, you? Which question you're solving?
Sir, I'm at the 12th one.
12th one. Okay, okay. Be quick.
So should we write any
Sir, I'm not.
this for the 12th one or something?
The 12th one. Just what is the name of the association between the algae and fungi?
Okay, sir.
Sindhu, send it on the group. Okay, no? Send it in the
Okay.
group. Also write your name on the paper. Okay.
Sir, I'm writing in a
Okay.
So can you go to the 12th question?
Or the
I mean,
14th. This one. And guys, it's already 18 minutes. Okay, now.
So I should send in the group.
You should send it in the group. The class 7 group we have. Okay, now. Vaiga, you done? Which question you're solving? Hello.
Yes, sir, I'm solving the 14th one.
Okay, okay. Just you can answer in yes or no. Okay, no?
Okay, sir.
So I'm ending the test by the way, okay? Any issue to anyone? I'm ending the test. Okay.
so can I come back in a minute?
Okay, okay, no issue. Yes, Sundus, I'm having a look at your paper.
Yes, sir, I'm back.
Mhm.
Sir, I'm done with my test too, so should I send it?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
No, I didn't heard it properly. What you said, Chakrika?
Sir, I said I was done with my test.
Okay, great. Send it in the group. Okay, now.
Sir, I can't send it in the group.
Oh, you told me. Okay, now. Do send it on my number. I think I
Okay,
will be telling you the marks of the test in the next class. Okay, now.
Okay, sir.
Or in the group, I will be updating you with the marks. Okay, now. Sundu, so I had a brief look at your paper and I see you have done well. Okay, now good. I haven't seen the full paper. Once I will be seeing the full paper, I will be telling you. Okay. Okay, so this chapter, in fact, I think we completed this chapter. No, the last class we did talk about different type of movements associated with it. Yes. Hello.
Yes, nothing.
Few points were left to be discussed in the chapter. Okay, no. While forest conservation and wildlife conservation here in India, especially, there have been so many forest conservation movements, right? Now, for example, you have the Apiko movement, you have the Chipko movement, that is a tree hugging movement, right? Now, and then we also had the Narmada Bachao Andolan also was there, but that was related to it was the struggle against the Narmada River Valley. There was a Narmada River Valley project in India right now. So basically, the government wanted to construct a dam over the Narmada River. So thereby, what happened? Many people that were living in that area, they had to be shifted to different area right now. So they protested against that. Right, almost 1 million people had to be displaced from that area. Right, and while the dam was being made over the Narmada River now, it would be sinking 350,000 hectares of lands of forest. Huh? So it was a huge loss to the environment. So people had to take matters into their own hand, and thereby they protested against the government. Right? Okay, and that is the thing. Okay, first, all of you send the answers to me, and then we will continue. Like this, you guys won't be able to relate with me if I were to teach right now. Yeah, everyone done?
Yes, sir.
They're like what?
I was saying just take a moment, Vaiga and Chakrika, send it on the group, send it to my number or in the group, and then I will continue. Okay, no?
Okay, sir.
Mhm. Okay, Sundus, you can answer this to me. Who is credited as the father of Chipko movement?
Sir, I'm done. I've sent it to you.
Good. Yes,
Sundar Lal Bahuguni.
Sundar Lal Bahugana. Very good. And guys,
Sir,
Apiko
I'm
movement.
done.
Done, Vaiga? Okay. I
Yes,
have
sir. I've sent it
just
to
now
you.
received from you. Okay,
Yes, sir.
good. Chakrika, I have received from you also. All right, then great. So there have been wildlife conservation. Thereby, we would be conserving forest and wildlife also, right? So we had several examples. Just the important part is you need to know about its name and what are some brief points about it. So, for example, I did told you about the Chipko movement. That is a very famous movement. Chipko movement. So in this, I told you, like it was one of the world's most well-known environmental movement that happened here in India, right? So in the Western Himalayas, this issue was there, and this was in the Uttarakhand, right? Okay, now. So look here, the Chipko movement began in before independence, right? Now, before India got independence, since then it began, right? So basically, the aim of the Chipko movement was to protect the Himalayan forest from destruction. Okay, so the origin dates back to that place, to the Himalayas, to the Himalayan forest, basically. So During the early decades of the 20th century, many protests were held against the colonial forest policies. The Britishers who brought colonial rule in India, so they had so many colonial forest policies, right? So they were basically cutting down vast lands of forest. They were clearing the forest, and they thereby using that wood in order to for construction purposes, for making railways, right now for laying out railway tracks. They were using the woods. So thereby this at one way to look at it is that it is leading to development, but at the same
Um,
time it is, yes.
Sir, you said it was 1920s movement,
Uh-huh. No, no, I'm
but
saying in
in
the
the last
early decades of the 20th century. I'm saying early decades. I'm saying, okay, now when I say early decades, it means like somewhere around 1920s, 30s. From that time, the movement started to gain popularity. But then it was in the year 1960 we saw that a massive road network was built in a given area, right now. So thereby people
was
started, yes,
1970.
1973 you must be saying, right? See, basically it's not like a movement started just one day. Every movement has its background, right now, guys. Every movement has its background. Any type of protest that you see on the street, it has its background. Now it does not start on in just one day, right now. So movement also grows. For example, right now we all are aware like what type of movement is going all around the world. Yeah, the Gaza and the Israel issue is going on right now. But did it just started in one day? No.
No.
Right now there's a background of 70 to 80 years behind it, right now. So it has started
Yes.
after 1948, right? So similar thing here is that the movement has its roots in the early in the early 20th century. By the way, many times now I've seen students get confused. Like, if I were to say 18th century, hmm, or 19th century, or like 20th century or 21st century, so what does it mean? Like, basically, for example, if I were to ask you, like, when did the 18th century started? Yes, when did the 18th century started? Anyone, any idea? Or basically, like, when I say 18th century, what does it basically mean?
Uh,
Sir, actually, I've
sir,
learned about this, but I don't remember.
yes, sir.
Okay, like in history books, you must be told about it.
Like,
Sundus, you?
Like,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
like 1812, 18th century, I mean, like
No,
1800.
when you say 1812, now you have entered the 19th century. See,
I mean, like 17,
So
1750.
1750. No, wait, 1799.
like that. See, if let's take the 18th century, and then we will continue from here. For example, I just taken a century. I could have taken 6th century, 5th century also. Just takes 18th century. Okay, now see. So when the date is 1 January 1701. Okay, so now 18th century has started, and it continued till 31st of December 1800. So this whole time span makes up 18th century. Getting it now? Everyone got
Oh,
this or
okay,
not?
sir. Middle of like 17 and 18.
Exactly. Like, it has after 1700, that is starting from 1701, and then continuing up to 1800.
Okay,
So
sir.
whatever date comes, uh, including 1800, all of that makes up 18th century. Is that clear now, Sundus, Vaiga, and Chakrika? So if I
Yes,
were to
sir.
say 19th century, thereby it will be from where to where?
1801 to
Hmm?
1889.
No. You said 1801 to 1899.
1900.
1900. No? How, Aika?
Yes, sir.
Right now, Chakrika, that will be up to 1900. Like that, you can continue for 20th century or 21st century also. Right now, we are living in which century?
22nd.
What?
20.
20th century? No. Like, if I were to say
It's like
Chakrika, yes?
23rd.
So you are way ahead of all of us. See here. If when we say 20th century, that will be
25th
between
century?
which one?
25th
It's
century?
guys, it's 21st century right now. Let's understand this completely. Then it will be clear. Okay, now I understand. Having confusion is obvious. It's normal. No issue in that. See, if I were to say 20th century, now guys, it will start from the date 1901 to 2000. That's what 20th century means. And when I say 21st century, so there by na Sandus Paika and Chakrika, it will be from where to where? 2001, okay, na? To 2100. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right
Yes,
now?
sir.
So that is the thing over here. Hope that is clear to everyone. And then again, if I were to say 22nd century, for example, 22nd century, so thereby it will be from where to where?
3000.
Mm-hmm.
3001 to 4000.
No, that's not where the 22nd century is going to be from. See, it will be starting from 1st of January 2101 up to 31st of December 2200. Right now, so if a person is alive during this time period, so thereby that person is living in the 22nd century. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So basically here there's a span of 100 years between that. Okay, now basically approximately 100 years is the span in a century. So hope that is clear. Moving back to what we were discussing. So I told you like there have been several movements. Like there have been Chipko Andolan in India, Chipko Andolan or Chipko movement. Andolan basically means movement. So its background dates back to the early 19th century, but the movement gained its peak in 1973. Right now, 1970s basically we can say. So hope that is clear. Then we will talked about a Pico movement also. A Pico movement that was in Karnataka or Kerala?
Karnataka.
In Karnataka.
Karnataka.
Karnataka,
Exactly.
sir.
Exactly. So this also has been one of India's forest-based environmental movement that happened in Karnataka. So it took place in Western Ghats of Karnataka's Uttara Kannada district. There was a district in Karnataka. The name of the district is Chakrika,
Sir, I
that is
doubt
yes.
the Uttara in Kannada means north.
Okay, Uttara in Kannada means north. Basically it means it's being talking
North
about
Kannada.
North Kannada right now.
Yes.
So basically, the forest district of Karnataka is actually Uttara Kannada. That at that time was the forest district. Okay, no. So also, when you were to draw the map of India, now, you guys must have studied in geography. Like you have the eastern and western Ghats. Have you studied about that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right
sir.
now. So these are the eastern Ghats,
Yes, sir.
and here you have the Karnataka, and also here you have the western Ghat now. So thereby, Karnataka lies in the Western Ghats. So obviously, this district was also lying in the Western Ghat. Okay, no? So then what happened? This area had lots of woodland. Okay, now basically such forests were found there, from which wood can be obtained, right now. So thereby government started to chop down the trees to earn revenue, and this thing is happening after independence. This is happening after independence. To earn revenue, the government started to chop down the trees. So thereby now that rich forest started to convert into plantations of certain plants. You guys know what are plantations? Like if you are growing certain kind of plants in a given space of land, that is called as plantations, right now. So government has started to clear out the forest. They were at one side, they were earning profit, they were earning revenue from selling the wood. At the another side, when they had cleared the land, they would be growing other type of plants in it. For example, they would be growing eucalyptus in that. So they were obviously, this will trigger the nearby village people. So the youngsters from the village started to establish protests right now, and they also requested the department not to cut down the natural forest. However, their request was turned down. So thereby the farmers and the youngsters started to they launched a movement. Okay, no. No, at that time, Sundar Lal Bahugana, who has been called the architect of Chipko movement, right now.
So,
Yes.
sir, I thought you were talking about the Apiko movement. So yeah.
I'm still talking about
said-
I'm still talking about the Apiko movement.
No, sir.
See,
Like when you mentioned Sundar Lal Bahugana, so I thought
uh,
like you were talking.
basically, why I'm talking about Sundar Lal Bahugana here now, because he was requested by the people there to gather locals to take an oath to safeguard the trees by embracing them. Okay, no. So there were people in this movement also hugged the trees, and when the forest cutters, basically the men with the axe, came down to the forest in the year September, I believe it was in the month of September 1983. So at that time, a Pico movement was born. So Sundar Lal Bahugana, who has been called the architect of the Chipko movement, was requested by the locals to gather all the peoples and make them take an oath to safeguard the trees by embracing them. All right, now. So people started to hug down the trees, and thereby main when the axemen came with came to cut down the trees, people started to hug down the trees, and thereby in the September month of 1983, a Pico movement was born. Getting it or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So that was the Apiko movement. Okay, no. And many of you might be thinking about Sundar Lal Bahugana. So you must know, like Sundar Lal Bahugana died in the year 21st May and 2021. So he just passed 2 years ago almost. Okay, no.
Okay, sir.
So that is the thing. So he was still living around this time period. He was still alive during 1983. So thereby, he basically gathered the people and then helped them to organize this movement. So hope that is clear to you.
Yes,
Also, I
sir.
did told you who is considered the father of the Apiko movement. Who is the father of this movement, by the way?
What, sir?
Yes. Who
Lal,
has? Mhm. No, no,
Sundar Lal,
not the Sundar Lal
Apiko,
Bahugana. Basically,
sir.
I'm talking about founder. Yes.
Like for
About
Chip,
sir, what movement? Apiko movement?
Founder of Apiko movement.
Panduranga.
Panduranga Hegde. Panduranga.
Exactly. Panduranga Hegde. Okay, now Vaika, you also remember this.
Yes, sir.
Panduranga Hegde. So that was the person. Apart from these two movements, there are several other movements also, but I think these two are sufficient for you guys. Okay. Then talking about some other interesting things, like you must have heard about species, water flora, water fauna. Yeah. Huh.
Yes.
I think the discussion about the conservation of forest would be incomplete without mentioning the the law brought up by the Indian government to preserve the forest. So, since then, inspired from the Apiko or the Chipko movement, the government of India also had introduced several laws for conservation of the forest. Right now, for example, there was Indian Forest Policy launched in the year 1952. Okay, now there was a Forest Conservation Act brought up in the year 1980. Right now, there was Forest Policy of 1988 also. Right. So whenever people agitate, whenever people um, protest regarding a social issue, environmental issue, so thereby government will also be forced to make certain laws to preserve it. Getting it now? Huh. Also, right now there have been several NGOs also that has been working to preserve the forest. Just to name few of them, now, do remember the names of them. Huh. NGOs. You guys don't understand what are NGOs? Non-profit government organizations. Is that the full form?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you have examples of like Tree Foundation. Ever heard of about this?
No, sir.
Tree Foundation. Tree Foundation is there. Then you have the example of this one more. The name was the Sierra Club. Okay, that is also aimed at conserving the forest. So you guys, if you want, you can remember these two names also, right? Okay. Now coming to this thing, you all must have heard about species. Huh? So species are what? They are
Go to the
basically.
previous slide.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Yeah. So talking about species, these are group of populations of those organisms which are able to breed among themselves and then thereby give birth to new kinds of them, uh, giving birth to similar kinds of animals or plants. For example, two monkeys can interbreed and thereby will be giving birth to a monkey. So those the two monkey will be are called to belong to the same group, and that group is called as species, right? For example, there are two marigold plants now, flower, right? So pollination will happen between these two flowers, and thereby new flower that will grow out of it will also be a marigold, right now. So hence they are said to belong to a same group because they are able to interbreed and then thereby give birth to a flower of same kind. Getting it, guys? So that is what
Yes, sir.
species are. So basically, those who are capable of interbreeding and reproducing fertile offsprings. Offsprings are what? Basically, the young baby.
Yeah.
Hmm. Then, what do we understand by flora and fauna? Yes, flora and fauna. What does it mean? Basically, flora refers to, yes. Yeah, basically, flora is being referred to collection of all the plants, right?
Plant and fauna is the animal.
Exactly.
We,
Mhm. Right. Also,
yes,
mhm, further we can elaborate the definition and we can say that flora is all the plant life that will be present in a particular area or particular time, right? Particular area and particular time. So that is the flora for you, and the fauna is basically the different type of animals that are present over a given period of given that are present in a given area and given period of time. That is what it means, right? Now, then someone will ask, like, what about the fungus? What about some bacterias? Yeah, yes, ever thought about that? See, so thereby you will be having another group. For example, for fungi, you will be having another group
So,
called as funga. Apart from flora and fauna, you have funga, and funga is the group of fungi. Yeah, Chakrika.
basically, they don't have any of those. They just basically they split up. So there are no
About
them, right?
you're talking about flora.
Fungi.
You're talking about fungi.
Yes, sir.
They split up basically.
Yes, sir. That's what I said.
Okay, see, basically, we can't generalize that because you have certain, for example, bread mold, uh, that is also called as rhizopus. So in that you have spores. They do reproduction by the help of spores. Remember in the chapter we discussed that. So
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
so we have example of that also. So we can't, in a general sense, we can't say that they will be basically splitting. Okay, no? Now then there will be certain bacteria and certain funguses that will also be counted in the group of flora. Huh? For example, the cyanobacteria. Have you heard of cyanobacteria? Cyanobacteria, or also they are actually called as blue green algae. Blue green algae. So see, there are some algae that you guys know can perform photosynthesis, right? Now, some algae can perform photosynthesis. Do you guys know of this or not?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
told in the
Uh-huh.
last chapter.
Right. And there will be certain algae that can fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere into the soil and thereby helping the plant to get dissolve nitrogen from the soil. So one of the such example is the blue green algae that is also called
I
as
thought
cyanobacteria.
it
Mhm.
was doing of rhizobiums.
Rhizobium is also there, very good. So those will be this will be counted in the category of flora. Sometimes there are some bacteria also that we count in the category of flora. Okay, na? So but in general, all the plants are counted in it. So do remember this thing. Any confusion in this, please do let me know.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I were to talk about the etymology of the word, basically how from where it was derived. So if I were to look at fauna now,
Repeat that term.
yes,
Can you repeat that term?
uh, I'm talking about this
You said something about
yes,
hydrology, something.
etymology. Okay, now I use this word. So every word that we are using has an etymology. The origin of that word, where did it came from? When did it came into existence? When we started using that word? So that is basically referred to as etymology. Getting it, guys? So talking about the fauna. So fauna comes from the name of a Roman goddess. Okay, na? It comes from the name of a Roman goddess. Getting it or not?
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Okay,
Yes,
na?
sir.
But many times now, the hardest thing about remembering the flora and fauna, na, flora sometimes refers to like you're talking about flowers, right? Now it appears as if you're talking about the plant flower kingdom, like you're talking about flowers. But don't confuse that, okay? No. So that is basically the flora and fauna for you. Also, we would be talking about the particular region or time also. No, the reason why I'm talking about particular region or time here, for example, when the dinosaurs were alive, so at that time the flora was different, the fauna might have been different, right? Now, so that was a, a different time, right? Now, right now it's a different time. So certain type of species of flora and fauna are found right now, and certain species of flora and fauna have gone extinct. Extinct, you guys understand, and that are no longer on Earth,
Yes.
right now. So we have several examples. Can you guys think of some of the examples of flora and fauna? Basically, flora. Yeah, we'll be having more common examples of flora that went extinct, that are no longer found on Earth. In the past, 100 or 100 to 200 years, we have lost so many animals that are no longer there on Earth. Yes. Anyone knows or at least one name?
Black rhino.
Black rhino. Black rhino is no longer there. Good.
So there is this one. It's like basically a common animal, but it is kind of going extinct. It's a very common animal.
The name is
Tigers, like tigers, Bengal tigers. Actually.
the Bengal tigers are still there now.
No, so
It
they're
doesn't.
going extinct.
Thereby they will be counted as endangered species. Okay, that are
Yes,
at the verge of extinction.
yes, sir.
So,
No.
like you're asking the question which are not
The golden
existing.
Sundus, please repeat that again.
golden toad.
Golden toad. Golden toad. Okay. Golden toad. Okay. Vaika, you were saying?
Yeah, so like the question was like the animals which are not existing, right?
Ha. So those which are not existing.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, exactly. They are the common example. Apart from that, what examples we have? Yeah.
Mammoth.
You have one species
Whales.
of. Mhm.
Whales.
Repeat that again.
So blue whale.
No, blue whales are still there. Okay, now.
Oh.
The numbers are decreasing, but they are still there. Talking about a particular species of rhinoceros, that is the northern white rhinoceros. Okay, now northern white rhinoceros. They have gone extinct also. Right now, so the last one of that species died in 2018. All right,
The
now
woolly mammoth.
woolly mammoth, exactly. Woolly mammoth has also gone extinct. Okay, now, and it has been said like the um, last of the kind of woolly mammoth lived around 5,000 years ago. So you would find even the fossil of that woolly mammoth. You can find that out in the internet. Okay, na? And there was also
So,
one. Mhm.
so there's also this bird which has gone extinct. It's called
Mhm.
the passenger pigeon, I think.
Passenger pigeon.
Yes, sir.
Passenger pigeon. Passenger pigeon. Okay. Passenger pigeon. So that has also gone extinct.
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
Okay, good.
I think so. I just read it somewhere.
Okay, passenger pigeon. Okay. All right now. Okay, so we have seen like in the past 150 to 200 years, so many species of flora and fauna have gone extinct, right? Golden toad, as Sandhu said, that has also gone extinct, right now. For the last 30 to 60 years, we haven't seen any kind of um, golden toad on Earth, right now. Also, have you guys heard about this thing about ligar? Ligar. Ligar. You might have heard of it somewhere. Ligar, ligar. It was a mixed species of lion and tiger. It looked somewhere between lion and tiger. Okay, no?
Oh yeah. I've seen it.
Hmm.
Not in real life, but in like TV.
But certain kind of ligars are to be found even today as well. Okay, now. So they are basically hybrid animals. Have you guys heard of hybrid animals? HYBRID.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so there's a liger,
Like
Liger. Mhm.
I've heard of hybrid plants, but not animals.
They are hybrid animals as well. No. So like you must have heard about hybrid seeds. Now, high yielding variety seeds are used. Uh, high
Yes.
yield variety seeds, HYVS. So you had this liger that is born out of the interbreeding between a male tiger. Okay, between a male lion. Sorry, between a male lion and a tigress. Okay, no? So thereby
So
it's a liger.
A
Yes, on
very
this.
range chances
Yes.
to happen like there are very rare chances to happen like that.
It's not a rare chance. It's not a rare chance. But in the zoo, if they are made to interbreed now, so thereby they will born out of it. Okay, now.
But these are called hybrids.
They are called as hybrids because their size is bigger than the normal tiger or a lion. That's why they are called as hybrid. Okay. So that is the thing. So if there's any questions so far, please do let me know. And we have basically completed the chapter. If there's any other questions from the chapter, please do let me know.
No,
I can go to the previous slide.
This one, yeah.
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Okay. Right. So we did talked about different aspects of the forest, how it has impacted, how it is essential for the survival of life on Earth, and several technical things we also studied in the chapter. So hope you guys understood this chapter. If there's any question, you guys can post to drop your questions in the group anytime. Okay, na? And you can ask to me in the class as well. Any other questions, guys?
No, sir.
no,
By
sir.
the way, are we left with any other chapters too? Just give me a
Yes, sir.
brief.
The waste for you. The
The
waste for
waste.
you. That one.
Okay, that chapter is left, no?
So, are we done with physical and chemical changes?
Yes, sir. We are done with that.
We did that chapter. So
Oh.
Vaiga, were you present while we were doing that chapter?
So which one?
Physical and chemical changes.
Yeah, sir. Of course, I was there.
You were there, no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So Chakrika, look what we are going to do now. Once the next chapter is going to be over, only one chapter is left to be discussed. So after that, revision series will start in the batch. So thereby we'll be having tests and revisions of the chapters also. Okay, na? So the chapters in which you guys are having difficulties, you guys can tell that to me. Like just Chakrika have asked me, like she didn't study that chapter by the way from me. So I will be most probably beginning from that chapter. Also, if you guys have any particular need, you guys can tell me in the class. Like, sir, I'm having doubts in this chapter. Let's begin from that chapter. So like that, we will be proceeding from now on. Okay,
I
then,
have
guys. So,
doubt in one chapter.
yes.
I have doubts in one chapter.
Okay. Okay. Like that, we'll be proceeding. Okay, guys.